Hey guys, so let's get started. I am priming my face with Becca's Backlight Primer, and this is a super moisturizing primer, and it also gives you a nice glow. And then I'm moving on to foundation. This is a Makeup Forever HD foundation. This is the original one, and I'm using this one because it looks beautiful in pictures. So whether you're going out on the town or whether you're doing this look for pictures, it's going to photograph beautifully. There is no flashback, and it's just beautiful. And I'm using a damp beauty blender to stipple that in. Moving on to Shape Tape Concealer, I am using it in the shade Light, and this is super light, I know that, but I do want a very, very highlighted effect, so that's why I'm using this shade. And this is a wonderful concealer if you haven't tried it, and it blends out beautifully, full coverage, gorgeous concealer, one of my favorites at this time. And I'm just placing it in the typical places that I want to highlight, and I'm going to blend it out with a damp beauty blender again. I like to start with the areas where I placed the least amount of concealer and then move on to the most amount, which is typically under the eyes. Then I take whatever is left and put it on my eyelids, and that's what I'm going to use as a primer. Then I'm taking this NYX pressed banana powder, and I am taking that same wet beauty blender, and I am just stippling that into all of the areas that I highlighted. Now it does look like there is a lot of powder right now, but I will be dusting the remainder off. I'm not baking, I'm not setting it for a while, but I do find when I stipple it in this manner, it does tend to crease less and last longer. Then I'm taking a brush with nothing on it and just dusting the remainder of any product that is on that area. And I'm going to set the rest of my foundation with MAC's Mineralized Skin Finish, and this is another wonderful product. Moving on to brows, I'm using my new current obsession. This is a NYX Tame and Frame. You guys that watch my channel know I use this a lot lately. And this is the shade Espresso, and I'm just filling in my brows as per usual. Then moving on to eyes, I'm taking Makeup Forever's, this is their Aqua Cream, and this is in the shade 04. And it is very white, it has some shimmer to it, and I am popping that on my lid with my finger and then going in with a brush and making it much more defined on my lid. And I'm using this because I have a little bit smaller lid space and I want to maximize it and also use a product that is going to stay on. Then I went into Butter Bronzer and using that as a transition color. Then going into Camel from Bobbi Brown, this is a beautiful, beautiful color, and I'm popping that over the transition color with a big fluffy brush to give it more definition. Moving on to one of my favorite shadows of all time. This is Cocoa by Bobbi Brown, and I am using a smaller brush that's a little bit more dense, and this is a MAC 217 brush. It's a perfect brush for this. And I'm placing it on the outer V and doing my typical stamping it on and then blending it inward and then also dragging it outward. Then going into the Naked Basics palette, I'm using that dark black shade there and a much pointier definer brush. It's more precise. I'm placing that on the outer V, not as high as I put the other colors, as you can see. And I'm just giving it a little bit more definition, more depth, more drama by doing this. So I'm using the same technique by stamping it on and placing it in the area that I would like it to be, and then I'm going to be blending it out. So once that's on, you want to start blending slowly upward, but not too far up above the other colors. And I also like to drag it outward. Then I'm going back in with the MAC 217, and whatever's left on that brush, I am just making sure everything is blended seamlessly and you can't see where the colors stop and start. Then I'm going to take Stila's Kitten, which I've not used in forever, on a damp brush that I popped some Fix Plus on, and I'm going to add that to the color that I put on my lid earlier. But what I'm also going to do is I took a brush and I took a little bit more of that Aqua Cream and I dabbed it slightly above Kitten, so it kind of peeks through, but it's also holding it down. Then I'm moving on to my brows. I'm just using a little bit more of that Shape Tape concealer, and I am basically just defining my arch there and then filling in with Anastasia's Brow Definer any places where I feel it needs a little bit more definition. Then I'm taking this Tarteist. This is like their finest liner. It's probably similar to the Kat Von D tattoo liner. It is super, super fine. And I'm making the thinnest line right at my lash line. And I'm doing this because I'm going to put on falsies and I don't want them, I don't want the band to show. I want it to blend in. And I'm going to make the tiniest, tiniest wing, which you will see. I happen to do that off camera, but you will see it in a minute. So there you go. There's that tiny little flick. Then I'm going to take that color right there in the Makeup Basics palette, and I'm going to just go over where I put concealer, and I'm going to use that as a brow bone highlight, basically. It doesn't have a lot of shimmer, but a touch. And then I'm taking that black color again with a shader brush, and I am placing that on my lower lash line, starting from the outer corner, going inward, but I'm not going all the way inward, halfway inward. Then I'm taking Cocoa again on a pencil brush, and I'm going all the way inward to the inner corner with that. And then I'm taking Camel on a brush that is perfect for this. This is a Sigma brush, and I'm basically just smoking the bottom out so it is blown out. Curling my lashes and putting on some mascara to prep them for lashes, which I will be doing off camera. Okay, so my lashes are on, and I am making sure to put a generous amount of, as you can see, mascara on my lower lash line. I did about 2 coats, and this is my current favorite. This is a MAC. It's a new one. The brush is kind of odd for the lower lash line, but it just works and makes them so long, so I use it there all the time. Then I am doing some contouring with the usual. It's the Wet n Wild contour palette, and going over that with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is another great product that blends beautifully, and as a bonus, it smells like you're on vacation. And then I am going to go back in with the contour color and do very, very minimal contouring of my nose. Then I'm going in with this Tarte blush in Blushing Bride, and one of my new favorite blush brushes from their holiday collection. This thing is amazing. Love it. And then I'm taking this Lancome highlighter that came in a glow kit that I recently showed you guys. It is a Glow Subtle Silky Cream highlighter. It is creamy, but you can pop it onto your cheekbones as I did, and I went over it with some champagne pop for some added glow. Then I'm taking Jordana's Tawny, and I am lining my lips. Moving on to the Urban Decay lipstick palette. This is another holiday collection. I'm using this color that I am obsessed with. It is gorgeous, as you can see. It's called Conspiracy, and I'm using the lip liner brush that I also really, really like. It's a little bit stiff, but you can kind of line your lips, which is nice. And I am going to put that all over my lips. And then I'm going to take a dab of Vanish from the same palette and just pop that in the middle of my lips, and there is the final look. So I think this look is perfect, again, for a night on the town, but it's also great for pictures, and that's why I put some pictures in. I did one with a filter to kind of show you something fun, and then I did one without any editing at all. And anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.